Hello my friends, welcome to a new video. Today a cockpit that I wanted to review already a very long time, the Oplite S8 Infinity. The S8 is a tubular profile, just like the S1 that I reviewed 3 years ago, which is already a very long time, and it bears a lot of similarities between both, but there are some subtle differences too. So when we look at the design of the S8, well, it's nothing special. It looks very normal. It doesn't have any futuristic form, just plain black, very safe black with the white lettering on it. Now, there are also other models available. So you have the Elite version, and that one comes with two different highlight colors. You have yellow and red highlights in the Elite version. Price is the same between both, and the structure itself is also the same. I think that Oplite is one of the first manufacturers that started to introduce 3 years ago already some color into the very boring black sim racing cockpit market. A big problem that I had with the Oplite S1 was that when I braked hard, that I could lift the cockpit from the ground here in the middle part. Now this feedback has been given to Oplite and they really worked to solve this issue. One of the things that they did was to add the pedal plate in a separate cradle. This cradle is connected to the ground with some adjustable feet. And the biggest change that they did is add the rails here to the back of the pedal plate, so that you have a lot more support towards the end of the pedal plate when you brake, that it is absorbed by this and the entire structure of the rig. I do think that it also helps with the entire structural integrity of the rig, so also the wheelbase holder will be a bit more stable because of this addition. While there is still some flex visible when driving, it is hardly noticeable, and I would say that the little amount of flex it generates makes it already one of the most sturdy tubular frames out there. However, should you really want to make the frame even more stiff, you can opt for the very reasonably priced €50 costing force beams. I have not tested them yet, but one thing that I could possibly have an issue with is getting in and out of the cockpits. The wheelbase holder on the S8 is a segmented design. This means that, well, you have a lot more flexibility when you try to position your wheel than with a fixed plate on the tube here itself. The downside of it is that usually it flexes more because of the many different layers that are connected here. So what they did at Oplite, well, they have a few things that they implemented. The first thing is the holes that they use here are separate holes. So it's not one cutout that you can slide the bolt through. It are separate holes for each bolt. What they also did is they added some spacers with some teeth in it to grip really into the metal, and it is really secure. I think this the wheelbase holder that they have here for Oplite is the most secure of the segmented design that I have seen so far. I mean, you really cannot move it up and down. Again, light flex is present, but again not in a disturbing degree. The flex primarily comes from the arch that connects the wheelbase holder with the bottom frame. Like I said earlier, for the pedal base holder, the extra force beams could in all probability reduce that flex even more by reinforcing the frame. Again, not a necessity, but a nice option to have. The seat in the Oplite S8 is what made me fall in love with the Oplite S1 also. It is a very good looking bucket seat that you receive with some nice stitching on the back, and it just sits very comfortable. It was already the case with the S1, and in the S8 it is the same thing. I don't think they changed that much for this chair, but I can tell you there was not a lot that needed to be changed in the first place. For a bucket seat, it sits very comfortable, very soft. You're very snug in it too. The bolstering is just right for me. You can even sit in it with a bit broader shoulders than me. And of course, it is also equipped with seat rails, dual lock seat rails, so it stays well into place. You can shift the entire seat, a bit upwards and down. Oh well, I'll tilt it a bit over, so it is adjustable there too. And yeah, well, I really think for the price that you pay for this package that they really included a very decent seat with it. The paint used on the GTR S8 is matte black and is reasonably resilient against scratching. The bolts provided feel of high grade and have ribbed heads. The frame tubes are 4.8 cm in diameter and measure 2 mm of thickness. There are pre-threaded holes foreseen and the entire structure weighs a good 40 kilograms. The Oplite's logo are painted and not just stickered on. The stitching of the logo in the seat looks classy and the frame of the seat itself feels very sturdy too. When it comes to build quality, I have a little to nothing to complain about. The configuration is certainly more than adequate. The pedal base can be inclined vertically by 30 degrees and you have 20 cm of travel to adapt the distance to your leg length. The wheelbase holder can be inclined 30 degrees, and what is very remarkable in a tubular segment, the design of the wheelbase allows you to adapt the height with around 10 centimeters. The seat can be tilted backwards or put a bit higher due to the seat brackets. The seat sliders add another 20 cm of travel to adapt to your height, and that is also the only configuration that can be done on the fly. Oplite rates the S8 suitable for people between 1.50 m and 2.10 m with a mass of 150 kilograms. When it comes to features, well, I won't say that there are that many features apart from the configuration available. You have the cable clips, which are nice beefy ones that you can add to the rig, which is very nice, but that is about it for features. When we look at the ecosystem, on the other hand, you have a shifter holder, you have an integrated display standard that you can put on the S8. There are some caster reels also available, and that is about it. The prices are reasonable for the add-ons, but they are very good quality. I have the display holder. I was able to test it and I think it is really decent quality. Compatibility wise, the Oplite S8 is compatible with pedals and steering wheels from Turtle Beach, Logitech, Moza, Fanatec, the steering wheel of Camas and the Thrustmaster range except the T150 and TMX. I don't know, however, if the list on their site has been updated to include the latest models like the T818 and T598. It is best always to contact the manufacturer for this or use my pictures to determine if your hardware will fit. So the pricing is one of the most important variables, I think, for this cockpit. €500. Shipment is included. I went looking at Fnac, which is a retailer for Oplite, and they put it at 500 with the shipment included. You can also buy it from Oplite themselves via their website for €500, but there I think that shipment needs to be extra counted. Now, Oplite is also available as Bratek, I think in Australia. That is someone that told me in the review from the S1 that it is available there. I'm not sure in the US if this rig is available over there. Now there is also the Force edition of the S8 Infinity, and that comes with some extra reinforcements to keep the wheelbase even more steady, and that comes in at €550. As a conclusion, well, I have to say that from the start, the S1, Oplite S1, the GT Omega Titan and the Placey Trophy were my top 3 of tubular frames. Now the S8 has come into play as well, and I have to say that it is definitely also part of that top 3, yeah, replacing the S1 then. Is it better than the Placey Trophy? Well, I don't know yet, because I will do the comparison soon, do a versus video between the Trophy and this Oplite, and it will be very close, I can already tell you that. Now, are there any negative points about the S8s? Well, you have the bucket seat, of course, which is preference. I myself am more fond of reclining seats. It's a shame that Oplite doesn't include a recliner in their options, but it's a very small negative since the frame is also separately available. Something what does weigh in more heavy as a negative point is the weight. With over 40 kilograms, this can't be considered a light cockpit, and I would opt to buy some wheels if you need to move this around frequently. But that is all I have to say really. I can without doubt recommend it to anyone looking for a good bang for buck GT cockpit out there. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had something from this video. Please leave a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I will see you all next video. Bye bye.